Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, hi, I am Rupashri and I run the Bookish Pandora, a tiny one-woman run business full of bookish joy, handmade love and miniature magic. So I recently participated in my very first ever exhibition at the PBT Lit Fest, and man, it was a ride. The excitement was real, but so were the nerves, the bloopers, the lessons, and oh, I wish I knew this before moments. So today I'm here to share everything I learned as a first time vendor at a craft fair, not just the wins, but also the mistakes I made and the tiny details that could help you save time, energy, and maybe even a little heartbreak. So, if you're planning to set up your first stall, or even if you have done it before and want a quick checklist of things to keep in place, this video is for you. So, let's dive into some honest, real talk tips that I picked up the hard way.
Three, two, one.
Coming off right the bat is tip number one. Say yes only if the math makes sense. Don't jump into fests just because they look fancy. Check the stall cost versus your product range. Why? Because the stall charges in India are outrageously high. For example, places like the Little Flea, the Weekend Window, or the other pop ups that keep happening throughout the year in metros like Ahmedabad, Delhi, Bombay, Gurgaon. They charge around 70,000 to 80,000 per stall. My handmade products start from say rupees 300, with most being under rupees 1500. So naturally, I always thought, how in the world will I ever recover my cost, let alone make profit? So I just never went for it. But then along came PBT Lit Fest and I said yes. Why? Because for once, someone wasn't charging a single rupee for the stall space. Instead, their model was simple. Whatever you earn, you keep 70% and they take 30%. No hidden terms, no fine prints, and no drama. Just clean, clear, and honest strategy. It felt like the kind of space that wasn't trying to exploit artists like us, but actually support us. So I said yes, just like that. Tip number two, don't be afraid to ask for help. Being a solopreneur means you wear all the hats. But for an exhibition, ask for help. Like, even though I had said yes to the fest, I had zero idea how to put together an aesthetically pleasing stall. So I asked Shalini, the founder and the hands and heart behind the Matchbox stories. If you haven't checked her page on Instagram yet, please make sure you visit. I will give a link in the description box. She makes handmade matchboxes that tell tiny stories. I link her page. Which is the best part. Even though we had never met in person, Shalini showed up with so much kindness and zero gatekeeping. In a world where most people protect their sources like trade secrets, she just shared it all. The standy links, the display hacks, the tips that helped her. No hesitation, no ego, just pure support. My decade long friendship with Dipali came through as a savior too. When I told her that I was putting up a stall in her city, she graciously agreed to host me as well as receive all the heavy and bulky and chaotic orders in my name at her place. When I arrived at hers, she made sure I was well rested and well fed too. When I was making the stocks like a mad woman, Varsha, who has been with me for the past 6 years, came forward to help me out. She is my house help, my go to person, and my sister in disguise. She helped me prep the stock, helped me pack, organize, clean up, and stay sane. A big thank you to these three women in my life who made this possible. There are people out there like Shalini, Dipali, and Varsha in your life too. Don't try to be a one woman army, okay? Ask for help. Just ask. Tip number three, be smart about how much stock you make. I made a lot of stock, like around 500 pendants, 100 rings, 400 keychains, and letter pens and bookmarks. Because I thought it's my first fest. I need to be ready for anything and everything. But here's the thing, I made only around 25 sales.
Oh
Yes.
no.
Just 25. And at the end of the day, when I was packing everything back, I kept asking myself, why did I make so many pieces? The event was just a half day affair from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. was held indoors with limited footfall. So naturally, the volume of sales wasn't going to be, a big match, like, get in a multi-day open air fest. And that taught me a major lesson. Your stock prep should depend on two things: the expected footfall and the duration of the event. Not every fest requires you to go all out. Tip number four: inventory, inventory, inventory. One big mistake I made, and I want you to learn from it, is not doing a proper inventory before the event. I was so caught up in making and packing everything that I skipped this step completely. And trust me, it came back to bite me later.
Oh no.
After the exhibition, when I sat down to evaluate what sold and what didn't, I absolutely had no clear idea of how many pieces I had originally carried, what exactly got sold, which designs did well, and what remained in stock. This made
Oh no.
restocking and planning for the future a real headache. So, here's my tip: take inventory before you leave. Count your items by category, design, and type. Make a quick note or a Google spreadsheet if you can. It will save you so much time, energy, and confusion later on. Tip number five: start marketing before the D Day. Okay, so this one is very important, and trust me, it's one of those things that can really change the game. If you're a small business owner preparing for a craft fair or exhibition, start your marketing before the event actually happens. Like way before. I'm talking weeks in advance. If you are active on social media, Instagram, Pinterest, wherever your audience lives, start posting behind the scenes, snippets of your prep. Everything is
Content.
literally. Film yourself making products, packing your kits, painting your signage, sorting through labels, printing price tags, whatever you are doing to get ready, capture it. You can even shoot a fun hyperlapse video of your packing chaos, or your living room turned mini factory, something like that. This does a couple of magical things. First, it creates anticipation among your current followers. They will want to see how it all comes together, and they'll be more likely to show up and support you on the actual day. Second, it helps potential local customers, the ones who didn't know you existed, discover your work before the event. If they have seen your posts or stories about your participation, there's a higher chance they'll come looking for your stock. Third, it helps build your brand memory. People start to associate your name, your face, your logo, your aesthetic with the vibe of your product. So when they see your stall, they recognize you. That familiarity makes it way more easier for someone to stop, connect, and shop. Also, here's a bonus tip I picked from a seasoned vendor. When you start documenting all this behind the scenes content, not only does it build engagement, but later it becomes this beautiful archive you can look back on. You'll actually be able to track your growth, see how your booth or your stall has evolved over time, and relive the magic. So, here's what I would recommend: start posting a month in advance, even if it is just teaser stories. 2 weeks before, share products photos that are going to be there. 1 week before, you should start posting daily updates, like countdowns, polls, behind the scenes reels, anything that gets your audience invested. And on the day of the event, go all in. Post live updates, tag customers, repost stories, and engage. The more you market, the more traffic you'll attract, and the more memorable your stall will become, even to the ones who don't buy immediately. So, tip number six: don't just display, design your stall. Here is something I learned the hard way. Display is everything. Looking back, I really wish I had paid more attention to how I set things up visually. My stall was nice, yes, but isn't it wasn't elevated. And I say that now because I truly believe that the way you present your products directly affects how much you sell. Think about it. If someone is just strolling by, your job is to catch their eyes way before they walk past you. A neat table with clearly layered levels, thoughtful height variation, clean signage, and a color story that makes them pause. And once they pause, half your battle is won. The rest is all about letting your product charm. From now on, I know that display isn't just about putting products on the table, it's about creating a story with the space you have. So, even if you are a first timer like I was, try to do more than just place things on the table. Think risers, think textures, think symmetry, borrow crates, get foldable stands, use mini easels, whatever helps give your stall that walk into the world vibe. I didn't get that right on my first go, but trust me, now it's a non negotiable part of my stall prep. Okay, I also did a DIY stall decor, and I added a small touch that made my stall stand out and that I'm quite proud of. DIY bookish buntings, as you can see here. I wanted my table to feel warm, handmade, and very bookish Pandora. So I made simple little buntings by printing random pages from books, nothing copyrighted, of course, staining them with coffee to give them that vintage aged feel, and folding them into triangles and stringing them together with a thread like this. And that's it. No fancy materials, no extra cost, just a cozy vintage vibe that pulled my whole stall together. And so many people actually noticed it and complimented it. So don't underestimate the power of a little DIY. Your stall should feel like you. Tip number 7, a little deal actually goes a long way. Draw them in with an offer. Okay, here's something that can really help you attract more people to your stall. Give people a reason to walk in. You could put up a cute little sign right outside the stall space or your booth that says something like buy two, get one free, or a freebie with every purchase, or flat 10% off today only. Anything that feels exciting, exclusive, and a little bit hard to resist. It doesn't have to be a huge discount. Even a small deal or a coupon can work like a magnet. People love that feeling of getting a good bargain or little extra something. It can also make them pick up more than they actually intend to. Plus it gives you a talking point to start a conversation. Another great idea is to keep a tiny freebie, maybe a bookmark or a sticker or handwritten thank you note that you give to every customer who buys from you, and it has a coupon code. It creates joy. That small gesture, it makes people valued, and they are more likely to remember your brand long after the fest is over. The trick is actually to display the offer clearly, not tucked away or hidden between the products. Make it bold, make it pretty, and make it seen, so even someone just passing by gets curious enough to step in. That brings me to tip number 8. Yes, sales were less than what I make online on a daily basis. I have done 30 plus orders in a day through my website before, but this was different. This was about meeting people face to face, seeing their expressions, watching their reactions, watching them enjoy my creation. Those moments, priceless. They filled a completely different part of my creative soul. So, yes, sometimes things don't go as planned or as expected. Sometimes you'll overpack, undersell, overthink, and still come home with a full heart. And that's okay. That is part of the learning, right? So that brings me to tip number 9, pack by category. It is a lifesaver. This one I did right. I packed pendants, bookmarks, lapel pins, keychains, all in clearly labeled boxes category wise. When things are organized, Setting up and packing down becomes so much easier. You can just pick up the box, display, sell, and pop it back in. No mess, no panic. Here is something most people don't tell you. Not everyone who visits your stall is going to buy from you right then and there. And that's okay, because some will walk away with your product, but others will walk away with your name. That is why you must keep your business cards ready at all times and visible always. If someone is browsing but unsure or just looking curiously, start a conversation. Introduce yourself, tell them what your brand is about, walk them through the magic, and then, even if they don't buy anything, hand them your card. Because not everyone is a buyer today, but they might be one tomorrow. And the connection that you make in that tiny moment, that is what brings them back. Tip number 11: have a handy lookbook, especially for undisplayable items. I also took some of my literary apparels over there, and like t-shirts and some totes, that kind of stuff. But to be honest, I only sold one t-shirt, and I realized something important. Since I didn't have a clothing rack or hangers, I had folded them and laid them out on the table very neatly. But most people were very hesitant to open them, because of the fear that they didn't want to mess up the stall setup. It made browsing a bit awkward, and that is when one of my customers came up to me with the best suggestion ever. They said, you should keep a lookbook handy with photos of models who are actually wearing these apparels. And not just that, they also suggested that I include photos of my best sellers, like the Hedwig mug, the cup and saucer plate, the bookshelves, things I couldn't carry to Mumbai due to size or fragility. Having a small printed photo catalog or lookbook on the table lets people browse visually without needing the physical product there. So it's simple, it's low cost, and honestly, super effective for anyone who can't carry their full product range to a fest or an exhibition. Tip number 12: upgrade your visiting card with QR codes. Here is a super practical modern day hack. Ditch the long email IDs and URLs on your visiting card. No one wants to sit and type out www.something something.com anymore. We are all on our phones all the time. Instead, you use QR codes for your website, your Instagram page, your Pinterest, YouTube channel, WhatsApp business, or even your online catalog. You can generate them easily through free apps or websites, and then place all of them neatly into one single business card design. And to make this even easier for you, what I have done is I have linked the exact Canva template I used to design my business card in the description box below. Feel free to use it. Tip number 13: carry paper bags and brand them smartly. Another thing that helped me a lot at the exhibition was carrying my own craft paper bags. So they are easily available on Amazon. I'll drop the link in the description below for the ones I used. These bags are the perfect size for handing over jewelry, bookmarks, and other lightweight products to your customers, especially if they didn't carry a bag of their own. And here's a branding trick that works like magic. Get your logo printed on small stickers and paste them onto the craft bags. And just like that, a plain paper bag becomes a cute branded takeaway that feels personal and thoughtful and neat. It's affordable, it's practical, and it gives your brand a polished, cohesive vibe, even on a budget. Tip number 14: keep individual plastic pouches for each item. Invest in a small waterproof plastic pouches for your products, especially jewelry. Not only do they make your items look clean and give them a polished look and professional, they also give your customers a safe little pouch to store their purchases in later. It's one of those tiny packaging upgrades that you could invest in, and it really helps with the presentation and customer delight. Tip number 15: price tags. Make sure to print and place price tags next to your product sorted by category. It makes the browsing experience so much smoother for your customers. They don't have to keep asking for prices, and it gives your display a neat, thoughtful touch. Basically, it's a small detail that makes a big difference when someone is just casually exploring your collection. And keep the font bold and clear, no ornamental fonts please. My mistake, I kept the font a bit smaller and kept the color contrast minimal. I don't know what was I thinking, but they didn't stand out, leading to confusion. Don't do that, please don't. Tip 16: always carry your tools. Always be your own emergency kit. Since I make bookish jewelry, there were moments when a jump ring came loose or a piece needed a quick fix, and that is when I realized I should have carried my pliers, extra jump rings, and strong jewelry glue with me. So here's what I recommend: always carry a small kit that includes your pliers, like round nose and flat nose if possible, extra findings like jump rings, earring hooks, chains, then strong jewelry glue, zip ties, safety pins, glue dots, basically stall saving heroes. You never know when something might come loose, fall off, or need a quick on the spot repair. Trust me, being prepared will save you a lot of panic, and your customers will love that you can fix things then and there. And at the last but not the least, dress cute, but more importantly, dress comfy. Okay, so here's a personal one that I really want you to remember. Please wear something super comfortable, especially on your feet. I made the classic mistake of wearing a brand new pair of sneakers on the big day. Sure, they made me look cute. I paired them with a comfy dress and I thought that I had nailed the look. But oh boy, I was so wrong. Those new shoes gave me the worst shoe bites and unbearable pain. I hadn't had the time to break them in before the event, and by the end of the day, my feet were crying. I literally had to come home and soak them in water. So remember, you'll be on your feet all day, walking, standing, sometimes even running around. So pick tried and tested, comfy footwear and easy breezy clothing, that lets you move freely and keeps you comfortable from morning to night. Trust me, your feet will thank you. So that was my big learning curve. I hope these tips help you feel a little more prepared than I was. If this video helped, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I've also linked the business card Canva template and my craft bag supplies and the other displays that I had used in the description box below. Go check those out. And hey, if you are planning your first ever craft fair just like me, I am cheering for you. May your stalls be pretty, your feet be comfy, and your heart be full. Until next time, this is Rupashri from the Bookish Pandora, signing off. Bye.